We'll find out.
Like the radio.
Like
I can tell my parents to tune in.
Tune in. It's Turfs Up Radio, internet style. I think
let's do it.
I need to be. Oh, we're on the radio. We're on Turfs Up Radio. And
tell my parents to
wait, is that your? Oh, hold on. One of us is getting feedback from our own audio. Do you have us open on your screen anywhere? Wait, is that your? Oh, hold on. Let me see here. One of us is getting feedback. I got it. It was on my end. I have to go, I go live on Instagram, but I have to have Instagram open and playing on the screen and then hit the live button. And if I have it muted or don't have it muted, it's like, where the hell is that audio coming from? I can hear the audio coming back. But we're officially live. What's up, everybody? It's Wednesday night. It's time for some home service happy hour podcast. We got Cory Blumenfeld from BlueMoso and all kinds of businesses. What are you drinking over there, Cory? What you got?
You want to know what's really in the cup?
Yeah, what do you really got over there?
I wanted to be cool, so I hid the can.
Oh, but there you go.
It's just a Coke Zero.
You can drink whatever you want at happy hour. You can drink water. You can drink soda. You can drink booze. I got what's left of an IPA, but then I have a little mini fridge, so I brought a couple beers with me just in case.
Very nice.
Thirsty. I gotta stay cool. It's so hot in Minneapolis right now. It's still, it's 8:00 at night. It's still 86 degrees, and just my house is only down to 80. Our AC can't keep up. It's been so hot.
Do you have a watering hole anywhere? Anything that's pool?
We got a pool in the backyard, so I literally just got out, and as I was drying off, I was like, "What shirt am I going to put on?" And I was like, "I think I got to go with the tank. I got to go with the American
got 250
super obnoxious bald eagle tank top. Got to go." Yeah. So I'm rocking it, but it's just the thing with the least amount of sleeve that I could find. Either that, or I'd just be walking around topless like I just got out of the pool.
Have you done that in a podcast?
No. Could.
Okay.
Could go poolside podcast. Possible. Anything is possible.
Oh my God. I have to do some video ads. The whole thing's about getting time back, right? And so I live in Mexico, I'm by the beach. And so I was joking around with the person who's helping me. I'm like, I guess, I need to be at the beach. Look at my clock, my watch. And it's 2:45 in the afternoon. Email's done. Client's happy. Just chilling. Taking my time back. You just got to do it, right? That's the whole benefit of taking your time back. So that's what we'll try. Shirts off. I don't know if the world's ready for that just yet.
I think,
especially in ads.
I was gonna say, for sure you need to be on the beach somewhere, because if you're just sitting in a bar with your shirt off, well, maybe if it's a beach bar, it'd have to be like a tiki hut, tiki bar.
We have those.
Yeah.
I don't know. Will people click for that?
I don't know. There's only one way to find out. You got to do some A/B testing when you're doing these podcasts. You got to do the A/B testing. So you mentioned before we jumped on, you started a podcast. What's the name? Where do we find it? Tell us a little bit about what you got going on there.
Yeah, it's all about what my brand is, right? My whole goal is to help people take back their time. So take my time back. It's takingmytimeback.com. Newsletter, podcast. The reality is, and you probably see this every single day, everyone reaches out for a sales call. Everyone reaches out to take. And in my mind, I've been talking to a lot of sales experts and podcasters. Everyone wants to be on a podcast these days. Everyone wants to be heard. Everyone wants to tell their stories. So, the reality behind it is to start building relationships. The goal is we sit down with business owners, founders, people that are, past that point in time of actually grinding away and have a conversation about, how they're currently taking their time back, or, how they got their time back and what they're doing with it now. So, that's what it's about. So maybe I have to do an episode from the beach. But it's like those Instagram folks that take a picture in front of the car they don't own.
Yeah,
I haven't taken my time back yet, but I'm working towards it.
Yeah, this is what I imagine it would be like.
It's what I imagine, the life I dream about.
Yeah, and you're originally from Canada, right? Up by Toronto, you said.
Yeah. I'm kind of nice sometimes, not all the time. It depends on the day.
You're not as apologetic as a true Canadian. You're not apologizing.
It's in my blood. You might hear it at some point. I might say the word out. I was on a call today and someone's like, "You're Canadian." I'm like, well, where did I say? And they're like,
Yeah,
well, you
which
used the
one?
word out at some point, and I was like, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I get it. Anytime I like anything with like an ow in it or an
The
oh,
about.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, about
Oh, yep. You got
the
it.
out. So I give it away there, but yeah. Now I'm in Playa del Carmen, Mexico. So couldn't stand the cold. I needed to get away from that. You're still. It's so funny. You're in Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
During the I'm a basketball fan, Toronto fan, I should say. When we were in the playoffs, we're like, we the North. We're like talking about how North we were, and like,
Yeah.
we're the coldest basketball team, or like in the coldest city. And then those folks, the folks in Minnesota, were like, "Excuse me,
we're
Drake,
actually north of you
we're more north
and much
So-
colder because we don't have a Great Lake right next to us.
much colder, more snow." And I was like, "Let us have this one."
Yeah. You got to own, like, there's not too many Canadian teams in the NBA. You know, you gotta own it. You got that. You got
We
that.
did, but I was like, I don't want to be the North anymore, so I picked the South.
Yeah, you can still cheer for the North, but live in the South.
Yeah.
That's the world we live in. You know.
Yeah, it's great.
You can cheer from anywhere. You can work from anywhere. Why?
Yeah.
Why Playa del Carmen? I might have told you this when we were chatting a few weeks back. Our family did spring break in Playa del Carmen. That was the first time I was down there. I forget the name of the resort we were at, but we liked it so much. And we have little kids, and so it's kind of nice to, like, when you know your way around somewhere and you feel safe, and you like trust that your kids aren't going to do something real stupid. We committed for the next 5 years to like get a deal on our rate, and it's not like a timeshare, but it is a structure to like buy in so that you can go a hell of a lot cheaper and lock in your price for the next 5 years. But it was like, we're going to do this every year. Might as well go a place that we know. And this seemed awesome. So we liked it. What drove you there?
Well, next time you come down, I'll take you for the best tacos we have here.
Damn, that's a
check.
That is a commitment. I'm a taco fanatic. We served tacos at our wedding. We had tacos.
Really?
We had at our wedding. We had a taco bar.
Do you do Taco Tuesdays?
I do tacos. I do tacos whenever the hell I want, Corey.
I like that.
If I can get twice a week, I don't care if it's a Sunday or a Wednesday or a Tuesday. I'm just eating tacos whenever I can get them.
I like it. Yeah. So for me, really, it was during the pandemic. I was stuck in Canada in the cold, and I miss traveling. I love traveling. When I was looking at,
you guys were pretty locked down up there.
Yeah. So, I wanted to go somewhere warm. I've always wanted to be in the tropics. So I went to Florida for a month, and I was like, this is awesome. I'm loving it. Everything's open. It's easy to work here. The energy is great. Like, lockdown was hard for everyone. And just, going back and living your life again was great. So after that, I was like, okay, I went to Florida, California. It's like, I don't want to go back to Toronto. I want to keep traveling. What's open? Where there are a lot of digital nomads. Because at that time, I was working on tech business.
Yeah.
And I was like, Playa del Carmen, still cheap. And this is when I was like looking for a deal on everything. Like I was the starving entrepreneur, still a hungry entrepreneur, but
gotta be frugal.
Yeah. And the first month, literally $500. The app that I used made a mistake, so I got upgraded into a single suite, and it was really good. There were so many entrepreneurs here. Everyone wanted to get out. Everyone was working hard. I stayed at a hotel hostel that had a co-work. So it just was great environment. Made friends here and built a community. And so it made sense to stay here. During that time, I did move to Miami for a year and a half, built my business, exited. At that point when I exited, I had to get rid of my visa. So I was like, back to Toronto or back to Playa. Have friends here. Go back to the cold and be a little less north than you. And I was like, I'm not doing it again. I need palm trees. I need to know the ocean, even though I don't go to the ocean. Like, it's there. I know it's there. I think about it.
Yeah.
But you can smell it right now. It smells bad. And it's
Canada, where like near Toronto right now, I bet smells worse from all the damn fires. Like we're getting the southern edge of it, and I'm looking out in the backyard, and you would think we're in like a cloud of fog. It's really it's so thick. Like the trees behind my neighbor's house look gray instead of green. Like it's thick smoke and it stinks. It's out there happening.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but same thing here. Like there's this like large seaweed belt. It's called Sargasso, and I don't know. It's like on the Atlantic east side. I bet Florida also gets it. It smells horrible, like decays, and so everyone's complaining. But I'm grateful. I'm like by the ocean, palm trees. Yeah, it's hot, but it's like okay, this is what I wanted. I'm living the life I wanted, and it's like I'll put up with a little smell for like a couple months. It's like I'm still here.
Doing it on your terms.
Yeah. My rules.
Yeah, hell yeah. Which I think like goes hand in hand with being an entrepreneur is you get the sense and you kind of like train yourself in a funny way of I get to do what I want. Like everything is dependent on the decisions I make, and therefore I'm going to make whatever decisions I want. Like that support me and the people around me and whatever I'm shooting for. But I run into that most people don't think that way. Most people are like waiting to be told what to do and are a victim of their circumstance instead of creating their circumstance. And it's a very entrepreneurial mindset to just like be of the mind of everything that happens to me as a result of the decisions I made. And they're all my decisions, all of them, every single one of them. So I'm just doing what I do. And it creates a liberation in a way.
Yeah. You said a few really powerful things there, and I was hoping you'd say it right. But I'll share. I had a mentor when I was in this entrepreneurial program, and what they were saying was, the difference between an entrepreneur and someone who's not an entrepreneur is that an entrepreneur makes like 1,000 decisions a day. It's just continuously making decisions, and they're not scared to make decisions. But it's a privilege, and a lot of folks, they're blocked from making decisions.
Yeah.
Right. It's the ability to make those decisions, and that's that. It's like. That is the freedom that I'm looking for. Like nobody's telling me I can't make those decisions. I get to do it. But something wise you said on top of that is the other people, right? You're helping other people, right? Like the decisions I make, the freedom I get, it's not about me today. It's about my team, right? They come first. My decisions impact all these lives, right? So, it's not just about taking control for myself. I want to give other people control. That is what inspires me. So yeah, as an entrepreneur, we have the privilege of, or you have the privilege of making decisions, no one telling you what to do. And that's so liberating and helping liberate other people, because not all entrepreneurs are like this. They put themselves first, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But, when you can put other people first and help other folks really liberate and get that freedom they've always wanted, there's nothing more powerful than that in my mind.
It is the coolest. It is the coolest. It's like freeing and the ultimate responsibility all at the same time. Because it's not for everybody. Like it surely isn't for. It's like having kids. That ain't for everybody. Like I love it.
I have a dog. That's
good too. That's good too. Yeah, that's good too. Someday
he controls my life.
Yeah. Imagine when you got 3 of them, and then they talk back a little bit more instead of wag their tail at you. It's but it's like it creates the ultimate responsibility, but it's also the ultimate like feel good you can get is empowering other people. It's super cool. What I want to time travel a little bit and go back to kind of work our way back forward into how the hell you got here in the first place, because you've got a bunch of business experiences and like scaling other businesses. Take us back to as far back as baby Cory wants to go, to like when you knew being an entrepreneur was even a thing you could do, and like what attracted you to that space and what your kind of career progression was. And I'm going to interrupt you 1,000 times while you tell that story.
You interrupt me as much as you want. You've earned that, right? This is your show. You made the decision to start this show.
Yeah, it's my responsibility to interrupt you with bad questions.
I don't know. For me, I think about this a lot. Like, was I born an entrepreneur? I was always doing entrepreneurial stuff growing up. I just didn't realize that I was an entrepreneur. I thought I was going to be a doctor. That's what my parents wanted me to be: doctor, accountant, lawyer. That's usually what it's like in was like in my household. So, I was in university doing like a pre-med program. But like my childhood, if we go all the way back, I used to do the lemonade stand. I used to sell little bracelets I made with my sister. I used to sell sports cars in front of my house. I used to, in the winters when there was snow, you get it. You know what
I'm
snow is
familiar
like,
with
right?
this. I did some
I
shoveling and snow blowing. A lot of
shovel
lawn
snow.
mowing back in the day.
Yeah, the fall I'd rake leaves. Like, my parents embarrassed when they take me to like the grocery store, they take me out, but I'd be like looking for money in places where like under the like vending machines, under like at the grocery store, and like so it was like it felt like it was always something that was me, right? But I signed up to do this program. I thought I wanted to be a doctor because it was enforced that you got to get this piece of paper.
Yeah, you got to go to college and then you got to get a job and do it for 40 years and then retire.
Yeah, but if you do want to do something cool, you only have that credibility with that paper, right?
Mhm.
Like you can do anything you want, but you need some stability, right? Like an entrepreneur, big risk, nothing's guaranteed, but that paper makes it all guaranteed. And I signed up for this program in my last year of school, so I had all this experience, right? I didn't even realize I was an entrepreneur. Even the summer before, I took a course, entrepreneurship for science students. Okay, but the summer before, I needed something to do. My parents were like, okay, got to get a job. You got to start paying your way. You got to we're not gonna. They didn't have anything to give me, so it's just like, well, I need money to pay for school to enjoy.
Figure this out, boy.
So I go in. We have this thing called Kijiji in Canada. It's like Craigslist, and I wanted to do landscaping. It just seemed like it was the thing I could get for it's just like on my time. So I start doing that, and this is like the first experience I had as an entrepreneur, where it's like, I need to be doing this for myself. Why am I'm going and doing the selling? I'm doing all this stuff. It's like, it's not hard what they're doing. Why can't I just do this myself? So we were doing driveway repair, and I was like, I saw what they were doing. 2 weeks later, I was like to my friend, we can just do this on our own. Let's watch a couple YouTube videos. I saw what they did.
Go to YouTube University. We'll be rolling.
This wasn't a business, okay? Like in my mind, it wasn't a business. Then the next summer, we did like power window washing. He had a power washer. I'm like, we can just go around and
the power washer.
We have the best sales pitch. I'll help pay for university students, right? This is going towards our education and all that stuff, and it worked. But it wasn't a business because it didn't treat it like a business at that point.
Yeah.
Like there was no business plan. It was just like, we called it seal the deal.
We can scrounge up some bucks.
Yeah. So I take this course, like I think it was like either a year or 2 years after. It was supposed to be one of those courses just to like get a credit, because like when you're trying to get into med school, you need to take like, they're called bird courses, like easy courses to get your grades up. There's entrepreneurship for science students. I was like, I don't know, seems cool.
That's easy.
At the same time, I had a friend that was starting a business, and I spent a lot of time at this. In Canada, we have this place called Waterloo. It's like the Silicon Valley of Canada. BlackBerry, RIM was founded there. There's all these big companies there. So, it was very entrepreneurial, and I just got hooked. I got hooked on the idea of being an entrepreneur. I was like, I thought I had to be a doctor to help people.
Yeah.
But, my professor, my friend at the time was like, why do you need to be a doctor to do something in healthcare? Like, you can build the stuff that the doctors are using. And I was struggling at that time with school. Like, I always had to try hard. It didn't come easy to me. Right.
Yeah.
But the entrepreneurship, the ideas, the creativity, that came easy to me. Like, it just felt like I was natural at it. Like, that's what I was meant to be doing. So, I was like, this is for me. I don't want to be a doctor. Mom, Dad, guess what? Don't feel like being a doctor anymore. But you should keep that option open. So, I knew at that point.
I'm gonna interrupt you for a second because
interrupt. You promised me. You haven't interrupted me enough.
Yeah, this is it. This is me coming in now. It is so funny how long we can pursue somebody else's dream.
Yeah.
Like I did the same thing in the corporate world. I mean, I went to college, got the corporate job, was there for almost a decade until I was like, maybe entrepreneurship. And then I started, I like joined a partnership with a buddy and like helped them with their dream until I was like, wait a second. Like the thing I originally started helping them with was their bookkeeping and like CFO and helping them do acquisitions and like being their finance dude. And I was like, damn, I think I just wasted like 7 years running these businesses where really the thing I'm best at is helping other small business owners make decisions with their financial data and like make the business more profitable. And I wasted I mean, not a waste.
Was it a waste?
No, not at all. I learned so much along the way that made me so valuable to all the clients we work with today. But I was chasing other people's dreams of what they thought was best for me, and it took me a long ass time to figure out where I actually felt like I could add the most value and have a shitload of fun doing it. Like, I think you got to do both together. I'm a huge proponent of that.
Look, I always say sometimes you have to go through it. You have to, all these experiences add up and make you the person you are today. Like, look, it was never easy as an entrepreneur, but I think, when you're doing something that you love, right? It feels a lot easier. Like the path that got you here, that you had to go through that to figure out you wanted to do this, right? Like without that, if you didn't go through it, would you be where you are today? Would you have the team you have today, right? Would you have the knowledge you have today? So yeah, it's you can look back and say, oh, I wish I didn't do like 5 years of my health science degree, and then I started a master's, and I did 3 years of that just to like have some backup plan. I didn't complete my master's, but I started it, and I forced myself to get through it. Do I regret it? In hindsight, maybe, but still, like, no. It's like it got me here. I met people in that program. I met the first developers I met was in like, it was annoying. I signed up for this master's program and I'm like, I need to buy time to start a business. I don't know any developers. I think within the first week I'm in a class. It was like an innovation class because I was hooked on innovation, especially in healthcare. This person's like, oh, you really know innovation stuff. I have developed, like, we're doing a hackathon and we need someone that can do more of the business side. I was like, cool. I don't know much about business, but I'll do that side.
Figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where I met the developers that turned into the first business, and I called my MBA that first business because I came from like a science background and I learned everything about building teams, about business models, all of that stuff. It took 6 or 7 years to do it, but yeah, like, do I regret it? No, because it got me here today and bought me a little more time. And I think sometimes that's what we're doing. We're buying time so we can work on something even better in the future.
I have, especially since I exited my last partnership and like restarted my own bookkeeping business, I have often said, I don't regret it. I'll just never do it again. Like, I got the lessons that I needed out of that, and the journey it's part of the journey, right? There's no need to regret it. I learned so much. Some of the things I learned sucked, and that was why they stuck with me, is because I made bad decisions and it sucked. But that's who I am. Like, now I'm that much better for it.
Yeah. Look at where you're on a podcast in a tank top with a beer. You've made it, buddy.
We're doing pretty
good. Cheers.
Good. Got that going. So what was that first business?
Yeah. I was still like caught up on healthcare. I wanted to make a difference in this world at that point. And what we did was we took all that information when you left the doctor's office and we digitized it into a mobile app. It was like, instead of leaving with all those papers, you left the hospital, you left the doctor's office with all that information. We built this in Canada. It's a little challenging to build a healthcare business in Canada, just with how the system's set up. It didn't stop us.
Or what?
Right. I mean, anywhere you go, there's a lot of regulation. But yeah, it's hard because the incentives weren't aligned for like making big change, right?
Yeah.
Just how the system is, because it's very bureaucratic. Some folks make change, but again, this was our first business, and we were learning. So, there were things that we could have done different at that point. But yeah, so we did that I think it was either 6 or 7 years. We exited that. It was such a great experience, but yeah, it was such a learning experience because you go into it, building a team, raising capital. These were all new experiences. Going through an exit, new experiences, like dealing with people. Oh my God, that like they can't. No one teaches you how to do that, to like manage people, and like this was right out of university.
Oh yeah,
or college, as you say in the U.S.
Yeah. Well, we've heard it. We've heard you guys, you Canadians, say university enough times, and the Europeans say university. So we've got enough exposure over here to know what you're talking about. I do think I was talking to our team. We have a leadership team in our business, and I want to put some like leadership I don't even think training is the right word, just leadership development, right? Like giving us
Yeah.
more exposure to books and frameworks and whatever. And I'm like, there's just not like you can feel good leadership. You can tell you know when you see it, but it's really hard to define. It's
Yeah.
like love and fairness. It's super hard to define, but you know fairness the minute you see it and the minute you
Yeah.
feel it. And you know when it's not fair the minute you feel it, but it's very hard to like put words around it. And leadership and managing people is just so much of that. It's such a style and vibe thing. It's cool. It's what makes it what it is. But people are hard, man. People are hard.
Tell me about it. Like, one of the things that I guess it's been on my mind, it's been on my team's mind, and as a leader, sometimes you have to shut off the noise, right? But it's you can't please everyone, right? Like you can know you're doing all the right things, you're supporting your team, you're trying to do all the best, but nobody ever sees that because they see what they're getting today, right? The long-term vision that you have as a business owner, as a leader, that's not what people really care about. So for our team, and especially our executive team, a lot of them, it's their first time that we brought into this. It's really challenging. It's hard because you are basically adopting the people you're supporting, right? You're taking on their needs, and the unfortunate thing is a leader.
All you get is all their problems. That's what you get.
Yeah,
That's your
that's
job.
where you get. Even though they might not see, like, you actually have their best interest. Like I like to believe I have all the best interests of my team, but some people might not feel that way, and it's unfortunate. And there's nothing I can do about that, but be better and keep sticking to the plan. But it's hard. It's hard. You feel alone as a leader because it's your vision versus everyone else's, and it's hard.
We let a gal go back in May who had been with us for 2 years and was like a real staple of the business, but just culture-wise, it wasn't feeling right. Work-wise, things were kind of going sideways. And we're kind of hitting one of those inflection points. I call them purgatories, where it's like the needs in your business changes and you work your ass off, but you actually make a little less money because you're making different investments to like get over from one hump to the next hump. And I see it all the time, like doing bookkeeping. I coach people through these. And so I'm like trying to coach our team, like, hey, this is a tough purgatory. Like we're going from being managers to being leaders. We can't, it's not just about directing how this work is going to be done. It's about like setting the vision and casting the vision and like bringing everybody along. And just one person on our team just like wasn't coming along and was pointing a lot of fingers and naysaying stuff. And that, like, she didn't like it when we let her go, but it's like, you don't want to be here. This isn't for you. This isn't, I like, my feeling of what's best for you is that you don't love it here. Why?
Yeah.
Like you're not a hostage. This isn't a hostage situation. You don't need to stay here. You're not happy. You not being happy is meaning that you're not doing a good job for your clients and you're bringing the rest of the team down. And I don't foresee that changing. Like you don't want to be a part of this next set of problems we're going to go through. And so I think it's in your best interest to leave and I get the final say. It doesn't do you any good to argue with me because I've made up my mind. You're not going to get your spot back here, but like, I'm not doing this because I want ill circumstances for you. I think you should go do your thing and you'll be happier and better at it than trying to support me and doing my thing.
It's the hardest thing, right? Like letting a person go. And sometimes I've gone through this, so many times, people breaking down, people, getting angry, and it never gets easier, but sometimes it is for the best, right? Like, and what I try to do is put the person, like, provide them with resources, provide them with what they need to find something that is more for them. And then there's this, like, what, hire slow, fire fast. I'm not always the best at this, right? But
it's
a lot of times
easy to say, it's just hard to do.
It is, but a lot of times, like, if someone's not fitting in, right, it's not in their best interest. And there's things that you can do to do it right. And I'm sure you seem like someone that really is putting the interest of the individuals first. But yeah, it's a tricky thing because people aren't good with change, even if they don't want to be somewhere. It's that stability. It's like knowing that they're coming in, but sometimes if it's not the right fit, it brings the team down, right? And so, like, this is the exact same thing I was saying. It's like, okay, well, let's say there's 100 people. One person is bringing everyone else down. What do you do in that situation, right? And in a business, sometimes you have to think of the majority, but there's a right way to do it, and you just can't please everyone, and it sucks. It's so hard as a business owner. You're just like, you want to please, you want everyone to be happy, you want everyone to like you, and I think that was one of the hardest lessons for me to learn. It's like, when you try to please everyone, you're actually not doing a good job for the majority of the folks you're trying to support.
Yeah, it becomes a disservice. Like, you go out of your way for a C player at the detriment of an A player. And then the A player gets frustrated and leaves, and you're like, oh, we just kind of screwed over our team. I didn't like, in my past businesses, I made that mistake multiple times where I like felt like I owed it to the employees to make their day. And then I'd go out of my way for an employee that wouldn't go out of their way for the business. And the employees that did go out of their way for the business would be pissed, right? And rightfully so. They're like, why are you spending your time making exceptions for that person? I'm the one that gets all the shit done around here. And you're like supporting them and having their back. And it's easy to get suckered into putting your money in the wrong spot sometimes.
The spotlight's always on you. Like, you're not getting away from that as a business owner.
True.
It just is what it is, right? And what, like, in those situations, you have to think, like, this is where it comes back to, like, what we're saying, full circle. It's like the decisions, right? You have to be able to make these difficult decisions. I think that's also what separates a business owner, right? It's the person, like, a good business owner can make these difficult decisions. They're not paralyzed when these decisions come up. And I was long story short, but there might have been a fire somewhere that I was at a couple weekends ago, and I was with my girlfriend, and I ran to the fire, and for me, it was a significant moment because it made me think of the business owner, right? The business owner runs to the fire and puts it out, right? They don't stand around paralyzed. They run to the fire, they put it out, right? It wasn't a big fire. It needed to be put out, and I ran. There was nothing else on my mind.
Hesitate, and you're like, "Yep, I know."
Where's the fire extinguisher? Where's this? It's like, the fire needs to be put out. Let's go.
Figure it out.
As a bit, you're dealing with fires every single day, right? Like, there's no way around it. When things are successful to everyone outside of the business, the amount of fires you're putting out to allow to appear that way, right? Like, nobody sees that stuff. And so, like, as a business owner, like, it's not perfect. I was talking to my team today about this too. I was like, I'm not going to tell you that it's going to be easy. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard, but we're going to make it easier. It's going to get better, but it will never be easy. And you don't want it to be easy running a business. You don't want it to be a day where there's no decisions to make, right? Because there's nothing happening in the business. That's not always a good sign. Obviously, you don't want there to be like emergencies every day, like but to pretend like being a business, like running a business, is going to be easy. You're not going to have to make difficult decisions. You're not going to have to let people go. Kind of is like a fairy tale, right? You have to prepare yourself mentally for this stuff going into it.
Firing people is the worst.
It sucks.
The minute I know I'm going to fire somebody, and I might, like the gal that we let go in May here, I kind of decided the night before. I slept for shit, like knowing that this was going to happen. And it had been somebody that had really been like early on in our business. Our business isn't even 3 years in Best Damn Bookkeeping. So like, she was one of the first and had been an integral part of us, like hitting 7 figures in the business and like really taking off. But same thing. It's just like, it's not going to be easy, but I know it's the right thing for our existing team, for her and her future. But man, it's like the dread of having that conversation. It weighs on you big time.
Of course.
It's the worst part. So,
of course.
So you had your first business 6-7 years, then you exited. Was the exit what you wanted? Was it an exit where you're like, hey, let's get it to here and sell it to this type of buyer? Was it an exit like, this sucks, I'm out of here? Like, what prompted the exit? What was the catalyst for getting out of it?
Yeah, for me, it's like, sometimes as a business owner, you need to know when your time is up. Like, you can only take the company so far, right?
Mm-hmm.
there's a next level of growth. And sometimes it was my first business. We needed to partner with an organization that could help see our vision through. And that's what it was. At that point, I learned a lot. I was ready to explore something else. And I knew that, we needed more resources in the business to do that. And the timing was right? There was a buyer that was willing to do that, to take on the team, to help them grow, to help integrate with their system. They had raised a lot of capital, so they had the resources to do that. And yeah, the other thing for me was I felt like I was at a different point. I was ready to build something else too. So, things can always be better, but I don't think like that. I left there with so much knowledge to do the next thing. I wanted to start a business in the healthcare space. Maybe it's in a different market with a clear, a different business model, because it's hard sometimes. There's a different way to do things, and it's hard to do that while you're stuck in a certain situation. So it's just the writing was on the wall, and the goal as a business owner in that is to have some humility and realize that, and make sure that there's the best outcome possible for the investors, for the employees, and for the product. And so that's what we did. We made sure that the legacy would continue, and we put our ego aside and found the right buyer.
Did you ever? I'm putting this on you here.
Yeah.
I had a realization throughout my life that for a while, the longest amount of time I had ever done anything was 4 or 5 years. School, different periods of school, different job opportunities, relationships. Now I've been married. I don't know how long I've been married. 13 years. 13 years this year. Probably no, we got married sometime in July. I should know when my anniversary is, but my wife doesn't know, so I'm off the hook. But we know it was in July. And so I in the back of my mind, once I've done something for 4 or 5 years, there's a trigger where I'm is this still the right thing for me? My marriage has proved that wrong, that I can outlast 4 or 5 years. My oldest kid is 10, so I can keep a kid alive at least to double digits. So I've exceeded my 4 or 5 year threshold. I've proven some points. But I do think that's interesting in business and in careers that you need that revitalization. You can only keep running down the same track for so long. And I have found sometimes that means I need to leave, and sometimes that means I need to double down on something and bring somebody in to help. I don't know that there's a right way to address it, but have you felt like that, where you can stick with something so long before Cory just starts to get bored with it? I think that's maybe the best way to say it. Lose passion around something.
I mean, it happens to everyone, right? Relationships, business, a relationship with, a business. So the way I look at it now, and this is what shaped my mindset, right? What I'm creating, when I'm thinking about my personal brand, when I'm creating these businesses, right? I'm looking at what brings me fulfillment. What I do know is I'm an entrepreneur. What I do know is I have ADHD. I need to be focused. I can bounce off the walls, but I've learned to focus my energy. I think now, and I was talking about this with a friend probably an hour ago, it's what can you obsess over, right? The ADHD allows me to obsess over things. It's great. I can be hyper focused.
It's a superpower.
It is. And there will be moments when you get bored. There will be moments when I don't think it's I can only be doing something for a short period of time, right? But what I have instilled to myself is what I am focused on, and while I am focused on it, I have to give it my all. I have to obsess over it. It has to be something I can talk about 24/7. If I was at a dinner table with friends, it has to be something that I could just run the conversation and over. That's all I'd talk about. Now, nobody might be interested in what I'm saying, but it just needs to bring me that joy. So look, we're all going to get bored. And it takes time to find something that we're super passionate about. But what I do know at the core It's not the business, let's say, that it brings the passion. It's the idea of entrepreneurship, that I get to work on something that brings me joy, that supports others. So I don't think I can get bored of that feeling. I'm supporting other people. I'm supporting their families. I get to make decisions. I get to work on something I enjoy.
Yeah.
I'm building confidence in myself. I'm doing things that, if you came to me probably 3 years ago, 2 years ago, I'd have been so scared to get on this podcast. I'd have been nervous. I'd have been stuttering. I'm doing it, right? So the fact that I get to do this stuff every single day, it's like, what am I bored of? It's like, I love the business. I don't see myself getting bored of it anytime soon, but yeah, I'm an entrepreneur at heart, and sometimes just got to keep going. So yeah, I learned the other businesses, the writing was on the wall, but I think that was more humility. Like it was my time to leave. Could have kept working on it.
When you left, did you already kind of have the next thing in mind, or was it like, oh, here I am and I don't have that anymore, now what? Like, where were you in that transition phase? How long did it take you to like find the next thing that you were working on?
Yeah, that's actually a fun story, like where it actually began. So the business wound up being a health planning app. We'd partner with financial advisors, wealth advisors across the US, and analyze healthcare costs and help people understand their insurance, what they're spending, their medications, all that stuff. The financial planners didn't have access to that data. So when they were doing the financial plan, they didn't know how to incorporate that.
Yeah.
But it didn't start that way, So I took a trip to Thailand. I was still at the other business, but this was like my first big trip. I went with one of our employees at the other company, it was just one of my good friends. I came back and it's just like, I love traveling. I love it. I want to be able to travel. And I love healthcare. How can I combine both of them? And I don't know where it came from. Maybe it was because I was in Thailand and it's one of the top destinations for medical tourism. It was just
really?
like,
cool.
Yeah. People go there to do things and change their bodies and all that stuff. It's one of the top places.
I had a buddy that went and got buddy/client that went and got like a whole new rack of teeth. Got them all done in time.
And I like it was time, right? Like, we had the deal and it was more at that transition. It's like, go work for someone and do what like some entrepreneurs do, where they go take like a more senior level position or start something new. There was nothing else on my mind. Like I couldn't, I was like, okay, let's do this. So
job's
actually
not an option.
Yeah, it was. But so that was the first idea, right? So it was like medical tourism, travel, partner with people, find a niche. We can't be too broad. We have to be focused. Cory, you're ADHD. You got to focus that ADHD. One niche. You can't do every procedure. It's way too much. So I was like, what's the biggest? And we're looking. It's like a lot of people go to Turkey and get hair transplants.
Really?
Yeah, apparently. So that was the thing. It's like hair transplants, Turkey. That's what we're going to start with, right?
Gonna hook the people up.
Hook them.
What do you think? Am I ready yet?
I'm no expert, but you have a beautiful head of hair.
It's getting back there, man. It's getting pretty thin up top. It's getting pretty thin, working its way back. And then the kids, I don't know if you got this going on. The kids start.
You're looking wise.
The wisdom starts happening. Just starts happening, man.
Very wise. Very wise. I
appreciate you seeing that in me.
Yeah. No. I see the good in everyone. I'm blinded. It's the Canadian in me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so me and my business partner, so like we leave that, and like right away I start working on this thing with another person. I had the whole business plan. It just was super clear. The market made sense to me. Because healthcare was so damn expensive for these procedures.
Maybe this might be like a trade secret, but how the hell do you just go this in Turkey go? Like, are you traveling there and like building relationships? Are you drawing up documents? Like what the
couldn't tell you, because we never built it. That's the fun story, right? Like we had a few relationships. Look, everyone wants leads, right? And that's pretty much what we were going to do, like generate leads, and who knows what we were going to do. But this was right before COVID. And so like, we did a couple pitch competitions. We won. So we had money in the business to start. Like, and this pitch competition was with like a venture capital arm in Canada, and so we had money in the business to start right from the start because of the experience we had, and like we had a good understanding of the market. There was a clear problem in terms of how much people were spending, and then a couple months later, COVID hit, so you couldn't travel.
Canceled that one. Knocked that
couldn't travel. No one was going no one was going for hair transplants in Turkey.
Back burner. Yeah, that one's on the back burner for a minute.
Yeah. But what was the core of the problem? It was healthcare costs. So we continued to have this conversation. We were talking so like the amount of conversations I had. I first started talking to, because we were talking to patients trying to save money. It was like, okay, what are the costs? What's the cost going to be? So we started talking to a lot of current cancer patients, former cancer patients, and having conversations with them. And it was rough. The biggest challenge was like navigating the system, navigating the costs. Like it all came back to that conversation. And, this was all new to me. It was navigating insurance. What happens to my family after this? And, we started, okay, maybe we'll help people navigate their healthcare costs, like the healthcare system, because, healthcare was my passion.
Yeah.
And so we kept having conversations.
There's a reasonable amount of lack of clarity and inconsistencies in medical stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's just nobody was sure what was happening. Right. And we kept having conversations. So we started working with these health navigators and health coaches, right, and having conversations with them. And we met this health coach, Cindy, who was a really good mentor of mine, and she was like, she broke down her business and she was saying like, all my leads come from financial planners. They come from financial planners because what is the core concept of when someone's dealing with a life-altering health condition? And you probably see this all the time, right? Or your background's in accounting, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, part of it, right? Like, let's say, God forbid, something happened to you, right? I'm assuming with your children, with your wife, you want to make sure they're set up, right? God forbid, like that. And that was
they need to earn it, man.
They got to earn it. Okay.
Yeah, actually, in our will, like my kids don't get any of the money unless they do a bunch of stuff to earn it. Otherwise, it all goes to charity. Like
I love it.
You got to earn it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Nothing. Yeah.
You got a roof over your head, and I like to cook, so you get to eat well. So
yeah.
You got everything you need. But when you're a big kid, you gotta go get it.
I believe in that. You got to earn everything. But a lot of these individuals were like, what happens after this? And where were those conversations happening with the financial planner? So this is kind of like what that first business taught me, right? You're trying to understand what's actually needed in the market, right? Like we started out as a hair transplant company. We got shut down because of COVID, but that wasn't going to stop us. We still had money in the bank to like experiment. And we found the right individuals and we wound up building health planning software. But initially it was, if I go find the articles of incorporation, it would say like, medical tourism, hair transplants, like, but
hell of a pivot story.
And that's the thing. I don't look at it as because we were talking to the same people. What was the core? People were trying to figure out how to navigate healthcare costs.
Yeah.
That's all it was. That was people's biggest concerns. And when you uncover the problem, like what is the biggest concern? And then you find the buyer, right? Like for financial planners, they were unable to have these conversations. And the biggest cost at that time was healthcare costs, right? Yeah. Like people spend the most in retirement on healthcare costs. That's where the majority of their money goes. And that's where people wind up going bankrupt. So we found a problem. Like the market led us to this problem. So we didn't give up when COVID happened. There was a business there. Love entrepreneurship, love building. So it's like, well, we're not taking people to Turkey, but we'll still help them save money.
Yeah. The vacation.
No new set of hair. I'm sorry, but we'll help you get some money back.
Yeah. How did that go? How long did it go? Is it still going? What's the story of that one?
So I exited that business a couple years ago. I think that there was a different direction that business needed to go in. And we went into that as co-CEOs. And I think for me, again, it's like, when you need to explore other avenues. And so for a business to succeed, again, it's like takes a little humility. There needs to be one leader. Sometimes, most of the time, there needs to be one clear direction, and sometimes you have to get out of the way. And so for me, I felt like, it was the perfect time to exit the business. We were working with financial advisors across the country. I could leave and exit that gracefully, and hand it over to my business partner, who could really focus and zone in on the direction of the business, because there were too many competing voices. So um, exited that.
Timing was just right. Sounds like.
Yeah, timing. Sometimes, and that's the thing. Like, timing sometimes is right. And exited. I had what I needed to start something new, right, from that, and focus on building something of my own. At that point, like, I finally was ready to be one of the biggest. It's like, I always felt like I needed a business partner. I always felt like I needed someone to be in the trenches with me.
Yeah.
Yes, you need people in the trench, but I needed someone to help me make decisions. Like, at that point, I wasn't trusting myself. So I always brought in a business partner.
It's like you said earlier too. It's lonely, man. Like,
yeah,
it's like being an introvert times 5, and I'm an extrovert. Like, it is lonely to be the person in the chair.
Yeah.
It's nice to have somebody go through the pain and suffering with.
Yeah. But my biggest lesson is like, now whenever I'm working on something, and when I talk to founders, it's like defining this really early on. How are decisions made? Who has ownership? Having the difficult conversations, like really early on, like super early on. So yeah, I left that business, and I was ready. I felt like I was ready to take on the world, and I had my MBA and I guess my PhD at that point.
Yeah.
I went through the ringer. We raised capital from some real big investors. We had saved people millions of dollars. The software was doing what it was meant to be doing. Like, I proved to myself, like, I understand business a little more than I did, when I first started.
Find some value and how to add the value and where the sweet spot is.
And I believe in myself. So I left that believing in myself and not knowing what I was going to do next. And,
how long ago was this when you exited that second one?
2023, I think. So it wasn't too long ago. 2023 or 24. I've been in Playa. So I left Florida. I guess it was 2024, the beginning of 2024 or 23. I don't know. Time, man. You get older, you start
yeah, you losing it. Like back in the day. Yeah.
Oh, jinx.
It's wait till you got some kids, man, because then it's like, yeah, it's just a couple years ago, and you're like, wait, no, she was 2. Oh, it was 8 years ago. When did that happen? It's weird.
Yeah.
Trip.
I can't say I understand.
It only
goes my dog,
fast.
he drives me crazy.
It only goes
drives me crazy. That I feel. But yeah, I left there and I was just like, okay, I know what I need to do now. I need to put myself out there. I need to build a brand. I don't know what I'm going to be working on next. Going back to what I was saying about buying time, I had to buy myself some time, right? I had to buy back my time.
Yeah. Well, especially, I mean, like, starting businesses is massively time consuming because you're just grinding, like, to get everything set up and rolling. It is a huge time suck. It's inexcusable. It's like what sets entrepreneurs apart is just like, how long can you keep your head down?
Yeah.
And like, then you worry about buying your time back. But first, there's a lot of pain and suffering that comes.
I was talking to, so I'm working on an extension of the business now. And I was talking to my friend who I'm working on it with. And I was like, look, we're at a stage where we can't just delegate our way out of it. We need to put in the work. We need to build the relationships. Everyone, we have to build our brands. We need to be seen. It's not easy. And for all the people that think it's going to be easy, the ones that make it look easy, those are outliers. The majority of people have to put their heads down and get to work. Right. So it's like,
you can always just put your picture on Instagram standing in front of somebody else's car, though.
I was talking about that earlier too. It's like,
works great.
Yeah, and I was telling him, like, we literally are in this phase where you have to do a podcast at like it's 9 p.m. for me, right? Like you do this stuff. You take whatever. Not you have to be calculated with it, but you take your opportunities. You build those relationships. You in a world where everything is like feels fake, where everything's AI. It's like the ones that are building the relationships, the ones that are doing, are the ones that can stand out. So it's like my time. I know the value of my time, but I also know that that's the most valuable thing I can give back. And so I'm going to use it wisely. So that's literally what all I've been doing. It's like, where can I give my time that it's actually going to give other people value, but it's going to create value for me. And it's been amazing. Like you're in Minnesota. I'm here in Playa. We're having a drink. We don't need to be in the same restaurant anymore. Like we don't need to be like networking at an event. We are networking right now. And so like, it's in my mind, this is way easier. I'm like introverted, extroverted some days. It depends how I feel, how the wind's blowing.
The older you get, the more introverted you get too, I think, because you just get annoyed by bigger crowds. So you like, you tend to
it's loud. I want to be on my couch.
I
want to be in front of the TV.
All these idiots. There's all these idiots out here. I just want to be with by me.
So I don't know how we got here, but I know we were talking about the exit to the business, but like that's what's been on my mind, right? It's like my time being seen,
making like most of your time buying it back.
And like sometimes buying it back is like putting in the effort, right? You don't get the opportunity to buy back something if you don't put in the effort, right? Like I wasn't born with a trust fund. I'm not a nepo baby as the young generation say, right?
New slang. But it is, everything's an investment, right? You don't make a lot of money unless you're willing to invest the money you have. You don't buy back a bunch of time unless you're willing to make the most of the time that you have. It doesn't come out of thin air. It takes a lot of hard work. I was laughing today because I was like searching you up in my inbox because I'm trying to like write up our little intro for the podcast. And I was like, I got to make sure I like hit the right things of what Cory and I are going to talk about. And I was laughing because the first time you had sent me a note, I read your note and you referenced a different podcast I had done. And I was like, oh yeah, have James reach out to me. Would love to talk to him. Sounds like a cool story. And then I reread it and I was like, oh, sorry, dude. Like you were just referencing that. Like you were the one reaching out to me saying like, hey, I like what you're doing. Let's do a show. And I'm in that. I mentioned this earlier. Like we're talking to somebody right now. I actually just paid the invoice today to really ramp up our podcast and our socials and like push the pedal down. I had a company approach me about like getting me on more podcasts. I mean, they wanted like 10 grand or something, which like, okay, if the investment's worth it's an investment, right? If the ROI is there, cool. But I'm also like, I don't know, Cory just reached out to me and he seems pretty legit. So maybe I just like take a page out of Cory's book and like end the podcast.
You should have called me last week, but I could have shared the system, right? Like there's so many tools that help with this right now. I'm not going to give them a plug, but there's so many tools. I've built like systems, right? Like, I don't know, this is like, I like to understand something, how it works, right? And I have clients that their job is to help people get on podcasts, right? So, and you know, for doing a really good job with them, sometimes they'll share tidbits of information with me. And like, you can build like the system that we've built out, one for getting on podcasts. It's pretty awesome. Like it's automated to an extent, but we have my team they're the, like I call it the human in the loop. They're helping manage that, helping organize the system. And then now that I'm starting the podcast, it's reaching out to the right people. Like I think a lot of people want to be on podcasts. And so, you know, we built out this really awesome system that is supporting with it, but I had no clue how to do it before. But it's so easy to learn these days. It's so easy to learn how to do this. And once you learn, I think, you know, you have to make an investment. If you think there's an ROI that you can, I believe there's an ROI that I'm going to drive from being on podcasts. I know that, you know, what's the benefit of being on a podcast? Well, you get backlinks from it, right? That's something I was just like, oh, backlinks. Okay. That makes a ton of sense. 2, you're building relationships. 3, if you're a business owner, you're a content creator. right? And most business owners say, "Oh, it's so hard for me to create video content."
Whether you like it or not,
whether you like it or not. I've been saying over the last couple of days. So the classic saying, people buy from people, but people buy from people who are experts. And if you want people to see you as an expert, you have to create content to put yourself out there, right? So these three things, plus if you're doing sales, right? Nobody wants to be sold to. So it's like you're getting content, you're building relationships, you're putting yourself out there, you're being an expert. There's so much of a benefit to it. And so in my mind, it's a no-brainer. It's like invest, probably spending, I don't know, a couple grand a month on podcasting. But I think that it's going to pay off because my biggest challenge is creating content. And now I have an endless supply of content that I'm creating, but I'm still actually building relationships, potential. And I've built affiliate partnerships through it. I've built referrals through it. I've gone customers through it. So it's like, okay, it's already paid for itself.
I was in the Philippines last week, the conference I was at, the company that I use to get all of our bookkeepers over there, they have their annual summit. And so I attend because I have so many team members there, but also the people that own it are my friends. Like when you find great people to work with, like those are especially as a business owner, those are the people you can relate to the most. So the last couple of years, I've flown out to their annual summit, to go like pour into their team and get up on stage and share the lessons that I've learned. But one of the things that Angela always says from Unique Genius is like AI is not going to replace human connection. It's going to put so much more value in it because AI can't introduce you to the next person that you need to know. It just can't. Like the relationships get more valuable. AI can take a lot of the workload off your plate, but the relationships are where everything happens. It gets that much more valuable. And and I see it in play. Like it's happening. It's where it's at for sure.
This is all I've been writing about lately, right? Like my hypothesis is that as AI becomes the norm, right? The reason why everyone's implementing AI is cheap, right? So any AI experience, so if you're doing like if you're have a robo client success person or like those robo chatbots on your website, that is the cheap feature, right? The human experience becomes the premium tier.
Yeah.
The connection, like you look at social media and how everything's like AI. I'm guilty of this. I was doing AI generated videos for a bit just because I was trying to figure out how I could create content for the longest time.
Yep.
But the real authentic content becomes the premium. So yeah, I think, and again, I'm in this space every single day. Like I believe in the human in the loop. This is what we're offering. It is so powerful. I think that we're going to be creating new jobs. There's going to be new opportunities for people. We may not see it yet. People might be fearful that AI is going to replace them, but there are so many examples. I'm writing something on this right now. So many examples of how companies have tried to replace their teams. Klarna, I think they fired a bunch of people, and then the CEO went back on it and said, "We tried this and it didn't work. We tried to replace our team with AI, but the people crave the human experience."
Yeah.
So yeah, you're not getting around it. Maybe we're in a phase where people are, people see the shiny object, they get excited. I use AI every day. I'm sure you do too, but it's not replacing the experience that we have right now.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I'm just an AI bot. I didn't tell you that. Sorry, dude. I
want that. I want that technology. It's okay. Sometimes, I don't know about you. I have a lot of friends that talk to their Claude bot, and they make their decisions based off that. You could be. I don't know at this point anymore. I'm trying to determine what's real in this world.
I'll take a big swig of Busch Light and let out a huge belch, and I feel like AI wouldn't do that. AI wouldn't do that. I do it just to be as authentic as possible, because I think that's like the best version of ourselves. When I go speak on stage, I don't care if it's 8 a.m. I always crack a beer. It's like
really
when on stage. Oh hell yeah! Like
I love it.
It does because I'm getting up and boring them with finance stuff, Corey. Like if I just get up there and start talking about bookkeeping and like I can teach the best stuff in the world, ain't nobody gonna listen. But if I get up there with some rock music playing and I make them do the wave and then I pass out some beers and I crack one, and like, hey, we're about to have some fun. And I do stress to them, like, you don't need to be an alcoholic to like business. But if you're here and you're a business owner, you do need to mandate fun. Like, you chose this, right? The beer isn't because it's 8 a.m. and we all need to drink. The beer is because it's a metaphor to remind us all that it's our business. And we get to decide every decision. We get to do what we want. We get to make sure our business is fun for us, fun for our employees, fun for our customers. Because life is short. And if you don't love running your business, what the fuck are you doing there? Like, go have some fun.
You've unlocked a few things for me. Look, one of the most important things a founder, a business owner can do is having something a little different. For me, and I think I mentioned this to you, I end every call with a virtual fist bump. When I'm in an audience or I give a fist, I get everyone to give me a fist bump. Okay, we'll do this at the end, but like, boom, why aren't you giving me a fist bump? You're leaving me out. Boom. Okay. That's my thing, right? So
you did like cheers me earlier, and I like put mine up, but you were like, you went all the way in. This is your thing.
Look, we have to create connection virtually, and I don't. People say you don't get that connection. I really believe if you learn how to do it, you can create it. Like you can. The people that are saying you can't, you don't have the same connection. You have more opportunity. I can't be across.
It's less distracting. It's less distracting.
Less distracting, but you need to make it. There's just physically, I can't be everywhere all at once. I can't, but I still want to build those relationships. And then you said something about having the most fun. I believe in getting tattoos on my body. You don't have to believe in it. Okay. My parents aren't proud of it, but you know, one of my first tattoos says have the most fun, period. And it's for the very thing that you were saying, right? If you're not enjoying what you're doing, right? Like and everyone's like, oh, have the most fun. It's like a party kind of thing. No, it's like, I want to enjoy I know life is not enjoyable every single moment, but like for the majority of my life, if I'm not enjoying what I'm doing, something needs to change.
I need to make sure. Yeah. There's going to be things in the world that happen. All you can handle is how you respond to it.
Exactly.
So like you can either choose to let it ruin your day, or you can choose to make the most of it. Because whatever it is that is giving you a headwind, it already happened.
Yeah.
It's already over.
Yeah. So when you crack that beer and you're having fun on stage and you're telling people like, look, this is me. I'm going to be my authentic self. That's you having fun. Right. And that, when I hear that, like, it's just like, wow, that's you are in control. You have your freedom. And I think people are I think the cool thing about now, like anyone can start a business now. It's so easy to start a business, and people are just learning that they can take back their freedom now. They can be themselves, whoever they want to be. And because we have access to so many people online, you don't need to connect with everyone that's around you in the office or in your geography. You have access to everyone, and there are probably thousands of people just like you. So like, you know, you can start a business, you can connect with people across the globe, you can build real relationships. It's just, it's cool. And like, for me, that's the most fun.
That's what it's all about. Yeah. I have 0 tattoos.
Oh,
I'm not against them, but my parents have told me that if I get a tattoo, they're going to write me out of the will. And I'm like, that seems pretty harsh for some art. But
I'm guessing I'm lucky. There's a very little will for me to get, but
I don't know if I can get my leg up. So I got some big old calves. I got some Wisconsin football player calves, and I got 3 kids. And so I think it'd be sweet to get 3 baby cows on my calves, some calves on my calves. Cause I think no matter how old I am, I'm going to think that's hilarious. And like, they're my 3 kids. They're my calves. So
I love it.
I think I need calves on my calves. I think it's a keeper. I don't think I'd ever regret that one.
I used to be so against tattoos, and then started getting them, and now I kind of covered. Not like, I don't have anything on my neck, my back. Like, you know, for the people I grew up with, they would say I'm covered. But for the people that I'm around in Playa del Carmen, no, I have nothing. They're like, who's this guy? He thinks he has tattoos. He thinks he's tough.
Yeah, this guy's got to commit or get shit or get off the pot, man.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. You were talking about commitment, right? A tattoo is a commitment. It's here for life. Yeah. So, yeah, I think being an entrepreneur, it's like the hardest thing to do is commit. The shiny object syndrome. It's like, but you know, I get a tattoo, I'm committed.
Yeah, that's how you know. That's how you know it means something.
Yeah.
What? So you had partnership number 2. What was the catalyst to business number 3? Is it? I'm lagging. I'm back.
You're back.
Is BlueMoso business number 3 here, or is like have you had other things going on in between, or other things in addition
Seal
to
the Deal was business number 1, but I didn't. This was that driveway sealing
yeah,
business. It
yeah,
wasn't like in my mind. So like it was my first entrepreneurial experience.
yeah.
BlueMoso was business and is business number 4, and like the catalyst.
Yeah,
it was so accidental. I'm a tech guy. That's what I thought I was. I thought I was a product guy. I don't know. I loved building tech. I thought it was cool. It was fun. I loved the whole process of like building tech. So I left Caribou, and I'm trying to figure out, okay, what am I doing next? I didn't know. And you know, I know from my experience, like sometimes when you force a problem, you just you kind of like have the blinders on, you're focused on the wrong thing. So
yeah,
I was trying a few things in terms of like different businesses to test. I was going through like Y Combinator has this whole like community where you can find business partners. I was just exploring. But at that time, for me, one of the things I really wanted to do that I wasn't doing, and I tell this story a lot, so I won't bore you with the long version, but I was saying like I always relied on other people. So I was always driving from the back seat. And when you're driving from the back seat, what happens? The car goes off the road. So it's like, I need to start putting myself out there. I need to start building confidence. I had always wanted to start creating content. I just never could at that point. And so I was like, I'm going to start creating content. And I had to pick my platform.
When you start, it's like the most awkward thing.
I won't even watch myself.
It's like throwing a fucking football left-handed or golfing with the wrong set of sticks. It just feels weird.
Yeah, even I won't watch videos. Like I can't do it, but like I'll do them, and it's just like it's okay. I'll give them to someone else. They're not as bad, but I will not go back and like watch this podcast and see myself. To be honest, I'll like critique myself. But I was like, okay, I need to start creating content. Where am I going to do this? Right, Instagram. I got to put out videos. I don't know how to do that. I wanted to, but I need to work my way up. I was like, okay, X, not for me. LinkedIn. I got stories to share about business. I mean, they're not important, but I think I can do it. It's text based, and
yeah,
it's text based. That's what I was doing. And I'll tell some stories. And ChatGPT just came out at that point, so it's going to be so easy, right? And I kind of like, I was reading Atomic Habits at that point. I was like, okay, it's got to be easy. So start small. I wanted to do this every day. Yeah, that's not realistic. I need to build the habit. So I was like, okay, 1 post a week. Let's do it. Can't be that hard. So I did that, and I started writing about my stories. And I remember like some of my first posts were about how, you know, my dad taught me sales and how to send out cold mail early on. We would send out letters to like famous athletes, artists. I was a big sports fan growing up, and we'd get autographs, like some of the big, like Tiger Woods, all the, like we'd send them a letter. Whether it was real or stamped, I don't know, but it looks real.
It was a picture with his name on it, you know.
It's cool.
Something, yeah.
Venus and Serena, like, you know, all these like big celebrities. Ringo Starr, I was a big Beatles fan.
Oh damn.
And, yeah, and so like they'd answer back, and so like this was a really, really like big, like it really, I think it like kind of like led me to not being scared to just send something out into the ether and get something back in return. So yeah, I wrote about these experiences. I wrote about my business, and at the time they were horrible, right? Like, but I was doing it, and it was so cool. Like, you know, not a lot of people engaged, but some people did. And I also it helped me build relationships with other creators. So I started reaching out to them. People started reaching out to me and saying, hey, Cory, love the content, blah, 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 blah. So it started building a lot of confidence, because at that time I was scared of public speaking. I was scared of putting myself out there. I was scared of like communicating. I needed to be a better communicator. Around the same time, like I was like, I want to do more content. So I brought on a VA, and at the same time I also took on a consulting position. So I needed to balance it. It was a lot of work. So the VA helped me. Became really, really close with the VA. Her family became my family. But the most important thing with this person, Cha, she's my business partner now.
Yeah.
I had to set her up for success. So I couldn't expect her to read my mind. So I documented everything that I was doing, everything I was learning. I collaborated with her. I made it so easy for her to understand my vision and what I was trying to achieve in the process that I was doing. And I didn't just hand stuff off to her, right? I outworked her. Like I was like, she'd be like, go to bed, I got this. It's like, no, I need to show you how dedicated I am so I can motivate you to care, right? So that stood out to her. And so as we became closer, people would start reaching out and they'd ask me like, how are you doing this? How are you growing? And I was like, well, like I have this amazing VA. I've built these systems in place and it's working. It's working. It's just I found the right fit, the right match, the right person who gets me, right? And that's what it always came down to. And we can explain. I can go into that later.
It's always a people thing.
Yeah, it was the right person. Our personalities connected, our work styles connected, and our communication style also connected. But as I had these conversations with people, people are like, I'm not having success with my virtual assistant. I'm not. I've let go of 3 of them. I just can't find the right person. And people are like, can you help me? Like, would you want to share your systems? It's like, will you pay for that?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. How valuable is this to you?
Is this something? Yeah. And I go to my VA, Cha, and I was like, Cha, because it was her husband, her sister, her sister-in-law. I was like, do you guys want to earn some extra money? There's some people that want to adopt our system. I'm happy to manage this and build the relationships. We'll earn like a couple thousand extra for you and your family. It'll be great. And I said yes. And this was probably like 2 years ago. Now, we have a talent pool of over 70 virtual assistants and, just virtual talent in many different roles. And she's my co-founder and we're working with businesses across the world, but it was completely accidental. And the problem found me, like it found me. And I didn't go searching. And at that time, I had built my confidence and I was ready to go out there and put myself out there. And it all started with like building a brand.
Yeah.
Trusting other people, setting them up to succeed.
What well, let me hit these quick. We got a couple folks checking in. Joe Devon No says good evening. H-Town says Omaha's happening. What's happening?
Hey, Omaha.
What's happening in Omaha these days? And if it's 90 degrees in Minneapolis, it's got to be 200 down in Omaha, is what I assume. But Cory, I'm curious, like through those, like the business scalings, what were the people lessons for you? Because it always does seem to always comes back to having the right people on the team. Give us a few of like the lowlights of ones you screwed up and like had the wrong person or didn't fire the person or whatever the case is. And then the highlights of when you knew it was the right person, when you got the right person, and how the trajectory changed getting the right person in the right spot.
Yeah, I think that the first thing I'll say is the model, right? Like when I first started, a lot of times you listen to what you think people want, right? So people want the most cost-effective solution. They want, they don't want, like they want to control how many hours they get, right? And I get the benefit of that, but the other side is what is fair? What does the person doing the work need? What's going to make them not worry, right? So like, we had a model in place where we were just doing task work. So that was the first thing, right? It's like task work is a couple hours a day. It's not motivating, right? You're doing the same repetitive task day over day. And, you put yourself in that situation, right? I love doing the boring work, but other people don't want to be doing the boring work. And so we learned that, okay, that repetitive work, that's not what drives people. The other thing is a lot of our clients at that point, and even they were they might have been focused on a task. I need this task done, but there was an outcome associated to that task, a goal. So we were focused on task work. But when you're focused on the tasks, it doesn't matter because the task can change. The outcome usually is like the North Star, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, what were you really trying to achieve? So we were focusing on the wrong thing. So that was something that we learned. Like we're not doing task work anymore. It took 2 years to figure this out. Like the task work was just like you're just managing tasks, and everyone has different tasks, and you're responsible for a task but not the outcome. It's just it becomes a lot hard to scale that. Then the other thing was skills important, right? So we would give them tasks that were kind of repetitive. We didn't have the clear outcome. And then the third thing was, okay, we would match people with really good skill to the wrong person, right? And it didn't matter how much skill this person had. It was, well, okay, you have the skill, so you should be able to work with this person. But it really comes down to, first, are you the right person to work with this? What does that mean? Do you share a personality with that person? Do you have the right personality? Do you have the right work style? Like, are you going to be able to keep up with that type of work style and the nature of that person? And then, can you communicate in the way? Can you handle how that other person communicates? Because there's a lot of cultural differences when you are outsourcing.
It's magic. Communication is tough.
Yeah.
And magical when it works.
Exactly. And some of when we look back at it, everything that went right was when we had the right match, right? So we completely revamped our model. It took a while to get there, but we've built a whole system based on these early mistakes we made with the business, and it was hard to make the decision to just completely revamp the model. It was working. It's what people thought they wanted. What they really wanted was they wanted outcomes. They wanted someone that they could trust, that they could hand off more work to. It's also maybe not the right clients that we were targeting before. So that was the hardest thing, right? Matching the needs of the client and the individuals on our team. It was hard, and I'll be completely honest, we got it wrong at first, but now we have it right, and the model's working so much better because we focused on the right match. We focus on the outcomes. We are trying to get rid of the repetitive work, because repetitive work can be done that's what AI is for.
That's what AI is for. Yep. The humans can do human stuff. There's human things that can be done, not just tasks. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, these were the hard conversations because, a lot of times, the internal team doesn't understand or see this stuff, right? And when you change a model and you take away something for a better future, it's not easy, right? You see a reduction in hours, but you don't say, okay, well, we're trying to get you more sustainable work, because when we're fighting over hours and we're trying to get more hours, that's not sustainable. And so that was just, it's a very difficult transition, but it's paying off. Right. And I think that was the hardest thing. It's sometimes you have to make a decision that people, in the short term, it doesn't feel good to others, but in the long term, it's really going to make a difference and help them.
Yeah. Are there regions of the world where you get your talent from? Philippines is what I know, because that's where I have a bunch of people, but I've heard of people in Africa or Central America or South America. Are there places in the world where you stick to because it's what you know, or what the structure is built around?
Yeah. So, the vision is to not be limited by geography, but you have to remain focused. My business partner, Cha, she's in the Philippines, so it makes it a lot easier to understand the culture there and to build the business there. So, we've targeted the Philippines, but I have a person on my team from Pakistan. She's awesome. I have someone in Mexico here because I'm here. So, the future, I can't help but think big. It's I'd love to have a global business. I'd love to support people across the globe. That is the goal. I'm not going to think small. I can't do that. So we're focused now, but I don't see why we wouldn't be able to target talent everywhere. We just need to get there.
Yeah. It is probably the most interesting thing, is just the cultural differences, right? And you kind of build systems and processes around how a certain area works, or timing wise, or whatever, time zone wise. And it is interesting to think about, I've worked with teams in India before, and it was actually pretty painful because it just didn't function culturally well with how I like to run the business. And then we started using teams over in the Philippines, and it worked great for the needs of our business and their needs too. It was just the right fit. But it is hard to work amongst different geographies. It complicates things for sure.
But this comes back to what I was saying. Maybe there are some cultural differences, but even I don't think that is the barrier. I think it's you're not working with a team, you're working with an individual. And you have to look at it at the individual level, right? So we before we were doing teams, right? But you have to really make sure that the individuals on that team at the individual level match with the manager, the person they're working with. And we spend a lot of time building out this model to do the matching. We're working on building a portal behind it. We're doing things that don't scale right now, but we spent a lot of time just from all of these lessons that we learned. How do we make sure, time zone, right? That's a big question. Communication. So that's culture. There are cultural differences, sure, but communication style, work style, like all these different things that make up a person, they need to match, and you can find that anywhere where you go. And when you find that match, it works beautifully.
Mm-hmm. What switching to the customer side of it, what industries do you guys focus on the client side of it? What size of businesses do you focus on? Are there sweet spots that you found that you guys are a great fit for?
Yeah, I'm gonna be realistic. Like right now, we focus on a lot of solopreneurs and small businesses. The goal is to go up market, right? Like that's the dream, right? So working with a business, building out an entire client success team for them. In terms of what we focus on, we have two arms of the business. That's what I was telling you, that I'm working on a business with my friend. I'm really focused on the operations, back office kind of side of things. So, think of like social media management, operations, general admin, executive assistants, things like that. And then he's one of the top content creators for customer success, like client success. So with that arm, because we think that the human experience is going to be a premium tier, we're focusing on the front end experience. So like client success, customer success, account management, community managers, and kind of differentiating the two businesses on that. And he's running that side of it. I'm just providing the support and the operational support because that's what I'm good at. Yeah. But in terms of the businesses that we target, we work with a lot of agencies. We work with a lot of, we work with SaaS companies. We're not too limited based on the rules because they're more specific. But we don't touch retail. We do e-commerce, so it's hard to niche us in. I could probably niche us in. We'll see over time, but right now we have a good set of clients, and they're making a lot of referrals. That's what our biggest driver is, and I think it comes down just to the person and the manager. Like we choose to work with people that are going to treat our people well, that are really, really passionate about learning how, or to take their time back, or they need some assistance. But yeah, we haven't been too limited. I probably should have a better answer for this. Come back to me. I'll work on this.
I mean, it's part of the evolution, right? Because I think you're in that process to find out really who's in the sweet spot and which ones you won't even entertain. Which gets me to my next question is like, how many clients have you fired so far? Because I imagine like I've fired a handful in our bookkeeping business where it's like their communication sucks or they just don't treat our team fairly. But I've really run into that with people using virtual assistants that sometimes their expectations are just so out of alignment with reality. And I'm like, man, owning that business, like I'm sure you have a lot of great clients, but I could see running into some real assholes too.
That's also one of the things. Like, I want to make sure people are treated fairly because the stories I hear, they did all this work and people didn't pay, and or they were just nickeling and diming, or I've seen it myself, right? I can't count how many clients I fired. There's a lot. There's people that haven't paid, and it's like, well, it's like you're really not paying someone who's like really struggling. Like it's not just, forget about the business, just paying. Like these people were working on your hours. They put in their time. They dealt with your shit.
And they're a quarter of the cost if you had to hire it locally, and that's the person you're going to choose not to pay. It's the one that's a fraction of the cost.
And it happens. It happens where they expect the world, and it's like, well, you didn't even set out, like you're expecting this person to solve the problem for you, and you haven't even solved the problem for yourself. I think like coming back to how the business, it's like I built systems. I was showing that I was willing to do the work. You can't just delegate away a problem. Like you actually have to understand how to solve the problem. Yes, you can hire an expert, like a real expert that knows how to solve this, but like, that's a different level of talent you're looking for, and you need a specialist for that. You got to pay a specialist rate, and we can help people find specialists, but if you're hiring just a general, like everyday generalist, don't expect them to solve your problems that you can't solve. But yeah, the people not disrespect. Just it hurts me sometimes where we lost a customer, I guess 2 months ago. And it was really challenging. And I said to my team, we're gonna fire this person. They owe us a couple grand, but we're never gonna see a dime of it. But you guys are worth more to me. I'm not too worried about losing this because it's the right thing to do. It's not about the money. It's how this person treats you. And if I was to keep this person and allow them to keep paying us, I would be giving
a bad standard.
It wouldn't be respectful. It would be, all I care about is the money. And I know that we have to build a sustainable business, but really, and the goal and the priority is to support the individuals there. Like I mean it to the bottom of my heart. I want to see all these people succeed. And yeah, I'm not going to let anyone give them shit. I won't. It's just money at the end of the day. We'll go and find more customers. We fire this one customer, we're just setting our mindset and putting the energy to the universe that like, we're not going to take shit, and there will be 5 more customers. We're confident that there will be 5 more customers for this one that we just lost.
There always is. It's just not worth putting up with shitty ones. I do love in business when you hit the point, and like early on for all of us, and given that this is like your 4th business, I think the more you've been through the ringer of this, the quicker you are to just be like, nope, fuck that. Not putting up with that. Early on, we put up with such bullshit because we're like, well, I need to make money, and yeah, we'll deal with this. And the more you go through it, the more you like draw those boundaries. And as much as I dislike firing employees, I love firing clients. Like I get joy in it. We have a written procedure. We haven't executed this one yet. We have a written if somebody is ghosting us and not paying their invoice, we're firing them with a singing telegram, and we're filming it, and then we're broadcasting it all over the place. They're going to get a very polite singing telegram asking them to pay the bill for all the work that we've done for them, and then we're gonna live stream it. We haven't executed on this yet.
Interesting.
But
tell me how that works. I would love to test it.
Fun. It's gonna be so fun to fire somebody with a singing telegram. Like you can't be mad somebody's singing a song to you.
I have some, like, it's not that many, but like it's still there's anyone that doesn't pay. It's just like, well, why did you do this work and not pay? And we usually collect up front, but sometimes we give people the benefit of the doubt, and we're not going to stop work because all the time we have a procedure for it. But it's like, come on, like have some decency, pay the bill. I don't even care. Like pay me and not like just pay the team. Like pay them. You don't need to give us the whatever, like the charge, the service charge. Just pay these people.
Yeah,
like,
you can
treat them with respect.
You cannot pay me what I need to run the business, but if you don't pay me to pay them, like then you're a real piece of shit. You can disagree with me, but if you're gonna like treat them that way, that only says something about you.
Yeah. So we realize that, and it's just like, okay, whatever. Like, part of it. Part of my job is now to do a better job at taking on clients. And, going back to what you were saying, like,
it is a sales issue. That's the funny thing. It's like, it's a sales problem because you want, like, as a salesperson, you want to have a good conversion rate and you're optimistic about everybody. But the more people you sign up that suck, you're like, oh man, what do I do to like how do I filter out a piece of shit? Like, how do I find out soon enough that somebody's going to be a piece of shit? Is there a way to filter them out? And yeah, it's going to make the conversion rate look worse, but it'll save us all a lot of heartache if I can determine that this person sucks in advance.
Of course. It goes back to what you're saying. Like, early on, yes, we're taking on clients because we want to grow this and build it, right? We have this model that's task-based. And it's like, okay, well, that type of model, it's going to attract it's more likely to attract a certain type of client. And so we've completely thrown it out. We don't offer it anymore because, we need folks that are going to commit to something, commit to, a monthly retainer with the virtual assistants, with the virtual account. Like they're going to commit to a stable salary for this person versus I don't know, seems kind of expensive. And like, did I questioning every hour that was used, and it's like, well, so they were online for that time, and like, yes, you know, don't want to argue with you on this. Like they work those hours. It's very like I don't want it was just the model sometimes has to change for you to attract the right clients, even though you have to make a difficult decision and say, this model's working. We're growing as a business, but it's like it's not sustainable. And we kept hearing complaints from our internal team. We kept hearing complaints from the clients. It's like, okay, something's got to change. And it might not be easy and people might not get it at first, but it's like it's to protect you. And that's what I was trying to do. It's just protect everyone. And it's beautiful. Sometimes you going back to what we are saying, the mindset thing, it's like you kind of say no to certain things. You say, we're going to stop doing this, even though it's working. It's not the right way forward. And you make that decision and it pays off. And it's feeling good now because we have something that's more sustainable. We're attracting the right clients because of it.
I had and this is like a thing I know not to do, but even when even when I've already learned a lesson, I'll still make the same mistake to double check for some reason. And I had a gal that like started negotiating my pricing on my demo call with her. Or after the demo, I sent back pricing after I got a chance to look at their books, and then she was trying to negotiate it. And like, that's a hard stop for me. Like, you can change your systems and processes to reduce your pricing. Because I price just based on transactions and bank accounts. Like, it's the square footage of your business. That's what creates work for us as a bookkeeping company. I know exactly, like, if you don't trust that I know exactly how much to charge to run this business, to be able to hire good people to work on your stuff, like, I'm your CFO. I have this shit fucking locked down. And if you don't believe that I do, why would you hire me? Because the reason you're hiring me is because I understand how these businesses work and I can help make sure you have your shit locked down. And you're going to try to negotiate pricing with me. Like, I don't know exactly how much I need to charge. And also, I know I'm not the highest price in the market and I don't want to be. That's okay. I'm not maximizing profitability. I'm maximizing helping the people I want to help, but I need enough money to pay good people a good wage to do their thing. And I should have known right away when she tried to negotiate, not our client. Like, never gonna, like, always gonna be trying to get more and pay less and not want our team to be successful. And I mean, and then like within a few weeks, she's on the phone with me. Like, I'm at a conference, I'm speaking on stage, but I have to like take a call before I'm going on stage because she's blowing me up. And then she starts arguing with me about stuff that I told her, but she's saying it backwards, like she told me. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you're picking a fight, arguing with me about stuff that I told you, and you're arguing my point. And I don't know how to, I don't know how to defend myself against shit that I told you. Like, I'm really confused.
I've had this exact same thing where it's the hardest thing because, they say that the customer is always right. And it's like sucking up your pride. It's like, what I'll say is like, I don't let my team take shit. I'm not going to let them. I will take, like, own up. I will take the blame. I can handle it. Right. I can suck up my pride. And I'm just like,
I'll fall on whatever sword I need to fall on.
but it's not the team. And like, I make it clear, like, sometimes we just need to like suck up our pride. This is what clients are going to do. Some again, but like, you said, it's like it's spotting these folks before and just clearly I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better at just saying maybe we're not the right fit. The worst thing is, I don't know if you found it. It's like you say you're not like, I want to work with you. I'll be like, maybe this is not the best option. Oh, I want to work with you then.
That's exactly what happened when she tried to negotiate pricing. So like, we had this back and forth on email over the pricing thing. Then she immediately wanted to call. And I said, I will not negotiate pricing. I know exactly how much to charge. And basically the same thing I told you, like, if you don't trust that I have that dialed in, why would you trust me to be your bookkeeper and your finance person and your CFO? Like, you better trust that I have that shit is dialed in as somebody could have it dialed in. And then she started arguing with me about processes. We worked on her stuff for a year. She was a client for a year. And this spring, she started like pointing a finger at us saying, my books are all screwed up because of this and that. And I tell every client, communication is the most important thing. We are going to communicate with you weekly, every single week, forever and ever and ever. We never dropped the ball. We communicated with her every single week. She didn't communicate with us for 3 months. Meanwhile, she insisted this other system hooked up to QuickBooks that created work that she needed to do. She just did something weird. Okay. Rack. She wasn't doing her end of the deal. And then she was like, why are my books all screwed up? This is unacceptable. I want you guys out of there. And I'm like, we are out. We're done with you because this is your shit. You are the one that chose to do this. You're the one that said, I'm on this. You didn't, and we brought it up to you for fucking 12 weeks in a row. And then you come and point a finger at us, accusing us of like not doing the thing you hired us for. Like, I should have known. I should have seen this coming. My employee that is working their ass off on your stuff and has tried to chase you down for 12 weeks in a row and is wondering if you're still alive, they deserve a better client. You got to go. You're done here. Yeah. Like your money's no good here anymore. And she had 2 businesses with us. And there's one, she's like, I'm going to terminate this business. I'm going to take this one over. And I was like, well, you can happily have both of them back because we don't need your money. We have plenty of it. You can have your money back.
It's the hardest thing to do, right? And I know, like, we're just starting out and, it's just like how much you learn this over time, right? And you get to a point where you get better at saying no. I'm not going to say early on you can't take on, like you shouldn't take on stuff or that it's wrong. It's just you need to know what you need to do what you need to do to get the business going. But the most important thing is it just show respect to your team, show respect to yourself, and just learn when to say no. Like, it's the hardest thing to say no to someone and be like, I need this money, but no, we're not the right fit, because I know I'm going to take this and it's like signing a deal with the devil, right? Like they're coming in and they're coming I'm not a holy man either. So it's just like you sign that deal and it's like you've just sold your soul and you're not getting it back while you have that contract. So
yeah, you signed up for money over happiness and you feel it every day.
Right. So just the more and more, like, I understand this, I practice it, the better life becomes for me and my team. Right. The more I give back, and I do believe in karma, right? The more I give back, the more I do good, the more that comes back. Right. And it's different than like kind of like being a pushover or like just, letting people walk all over you. It's just like, I want to give my time back. I want to support people. When I get on a sales call, I know a sales call is going well if I'm giving people value and they're asking me questions. I know that if I'm teaching them something, whether they choose to work with me or not, they'll know that Cory was so helpful. So like that's my approach. It's just like,
help me first.
Yeah. All my calls. And like I had a call today and just we ran out of time. I didn't even show them the pricing. Didn't even get to the pricing. It didn't matter. Like, because that's not why someone's choosing to work with me, right? If I get in a conversation, I'm like arguing price, not the right customer. It's like they better want to work with me because they see me as an expert. They see my team as the expert. They know we're going to go above and beyond to support them.
Yeah, I take a similar approach. When somebody books a bookkeeping demo with me, it's an hour long, and I get some people are like, "What do we need to talk about for an hour?" And I'm like, "Well, the first 30 minutes is me helping you with whatever you need." Like, keep in mind, I work with hundreds of business owners and I see exactly who's winning and who's losing in all sorts of industries. I have the cheat code. If you want to know how to recruit, I own one of those companies. If you want to know how to market, my business partner that I own a recruiting company with also owns a marketing company. If you want to know how to pay your employees, I've run your business before. I've owned that type of company before. Let's talk about it. Like, let's figure out what your pain points are, because all bookkeeping is a mechanism to measure shit for me to coach you on what's working and what's not working. Like, it's just a decision-making tool. So let's talk about the decisions you think aren't working right now. I don't even need to look at your books if you already know it's broken. Let's talk about it. Once I look at your books, you might not know something's broken. I might be able to tell you it's broken later. But even before we do that, let's first talk about why the hell we do bookkeeping in the first place. It's a tool to help you figure this shit out. So let's talk about it.
Yeah, I believe in giving it all away. I know, like, I remember when I was working on an earlier business, my mindset was like, tell them how we do it. Because the reality is, what are people doing? It's that they're hiring you because they don't have the time.
Yeah,
that's why they're hiring you. It's not that they can't do it. Everything that, like, most of the things that it's doable. It's just like, do you want to dedicate the time to that? And I think that's what's led me to this business. It's like, yeah, you can do this all. I 100%, like, you could do all the work that we're talking about. You could take it on yourself, but is that the best use of your time? So I go into these calls just giving away everything. I tell them exactly what we're going to do. I was on a call today. Here's the system I implement for social media. Here's how I capture everything. Here's how I create my content. Here's how we do it. And this is what the team's going to be doing. It's great. You're not coming to me because you can't do it. You're coming to me because you're time strapped. And if you're coming to me for a different reason, well, then it doesn't align, right? Like if you're giving me, oh, well, couldn't I just do it myself? It's like, yes, you could.
Sure. For sure.
You could. You can figure it out. But do you want to be spending your time doing that?
Yeah. Don't you have a business to grow? Like, don't you have clients to go sell and employ?
Red flag when someone's like, oh, I'm just going to do, because those are going to be the people that, yesterday we told a client or a lead how we do things, and this is the first time. I really appreciate it. I don't think you're the right fit for us. For me, I want to have control over everything. And I was just like, oh, wow. At least
you're going to be a one-man band for a long time.
Yeah, but I respected that because, a lot of folks who like to have control over things don't like to admit it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, you know exactly what you want. You've admitted that you need to have control over it. That's good. There's the right system for you, and you know what that system is that you need. It's not us.
Yeah. That is a good self-awareness point, because I do run into, and I mentioned this term earlier, I call them like purgatories. I see should stay and will by default stay, but don't understand why. Like they should stay as them and helper. They are not meant to scale a business. They are not meant to be a CEO. They are not meant to be a leader. They love being on the truck and doing the thing in the field, whatever that is. But there's like this pressure in different industries to scale and hire people. And they're not somebody that should be running a team and scaling a business. And they don't even like to. They don't want to have a bunch of people reporting to them. They don't want to be a manager. They don't want to be a COO and a CEO. There's zero attraction to them. They feel pressure to scale a business because they're a business owner and social media tells them they need to scale it. And getting laggy. My kids must be dicking around on their iPads. But they grow their business into a job for themselves that they don't even love, because they don't have the awareness of what they actually like to do in the business. They like hire the shit that they like to do, and they start doing administrative stuff that they hate. I see that play out a lot.
I've seen it with a lot of clients that I've worked with. The ones that, they want to. The internet makes being an entrepreneur sexy. Everyone wants to stand in front of their car. Everyone wants to stand in front of that car.
Picture. Talk about their revenue.
This is another tattoo I got on my arm, right? To remind me of this, what we're speaking of. It's like, find your easy. And a lot of folks being a doctor wasn't my easy. I had to try so freaking hard in school. So hard. There were people in my class that are doctors now. It just came easy to them. It's like they would take like chemistry and physics. And I'm just like, huh? How do you use this calculator? Yeah. What? And like to them, it's just like, and so, I realize this, and it's something that this is like my really recent. I've started really focusing on, and so much so that I got in my body. It just says, find your easy, right? You find something that you're a natural at. That just comes. It's not that it's easy. It's just, it feels natural to you. And so when someone is like feeling like the pressure and they're ready to give up, it's like you can get past that. Like nothing's stopping you because it just feels easy. It feels like you're meant to be doing it. And look at my arm every single day, and I remind myself, like, I found my easy. Like entrepreneurship's my easy. Nothing's gonna stop me. Even on the hardest days, nothing's gonna stop me. It won't. It doesn't matter. I love this.
Yeah. There's a point where you've solved enough problems that you crave a problem. And it's actually kind of funny because it's also the risk we all have of like, we can torment our own businesses because we will make problems out of thin air to give ourselves a problem to solve. Yeah. It's hard to like let things just be not try to recreate something when there's nothing that's wrong. We can't help ourselves, especially the ADD part of us. We gotta stir some shit up.
But this is also one of the things, like, having all this experience has taught me, right? Like that first business, mostly from the first business, it's like a lot of times business owners, we're trying to solve problems that don't exist. And I see this with my team every day, and I'll go to them. I'm like, okay, they'll be like, what if this, what if that? And I'll be like, well, those are what ifs. The great thing about building a business, while you're building, like the plane doesn't exist, or while like the plane's not fully built, is you can put the plane together in mid-flight. Like we can move fast enough to do it. And so it's like, what if? But what if it doesn't happen, right? Let's solve things that are becoming a problem. It's a risk you take, but I just found myself with my first business, a huge takeaway. It's like we would solve for problems that didn't actually exist. And
Yeah.
they didn't become a problem. And your time is super valuable. Every decision you make takes you away from what is, urgent. And so, yeah, like the what ifs, the like focusing, that it's like where you focus your attention is super important. This a good founder, a good CEO, good leader is good at taking their team and aligning them around this, and supporting them and saying like, look, this isn't our priority right now. I know it's important, but when it happens, we'll get there. We will solve this. We'll figure it out together.
We'll figure it out. We don't need to start working on that now. There's enough shit we need to work on right now.
Yeah.
I had one of my old partners was a very like scared Sally. He was always just and it wasn't that he was dumb, like super smart guy and really successful guy, but he questioned everything, and he was an investor. He was like a silent partner, but he had to have all the answers of these like, well, what if this happens? And I'm like, Brian, I don't have time to solve for that, man. Like, here's the thing I know is if we don't go clean this job today, if I get sidetracked trying to solve your problems and we don't take care of this customer, I can for sure tell you that we're going to lose them, and that's worth about 10 grand a year. So I think we should go take care of them. I'm not so worried about the what if there's an earthquake in California and then it shuts down our Portland, Oregon branch because the trade flows are jacked up. I think we'll solve that when we get there, because all of our competitors will have the same problem. We'll figure out whatever it is that needs to happen. Right now, we need to take care of the employees and the clients that are here today, and like we can do some planning. Not saying we shouldn't do some budgeting and some planning, but we don't need to solve that one. That one can stay out there. It's a great question though.
Your job is to figure it out. Like, it's funny as you're saying this, I'm like thinking, okay, so like there's all these things you can plan. So, I'm building the last business, Caribou, and Silicon Valley Bank, SBF, is that what? No, Silicon Valley, SVB. You remember?
Yeah.
It's just all of a sudden like the bank shut down.
Yeah,
all the money froze.
In there.
All of our money was in that bank when this happened.
Oh shit! You were part of that?
Yeah, every single dollar was part of that. Okay, and I remember I'm like talking to my business partner. I'm like, "What the fuck do we do? This is the what the F moment." It's like, huh? Yeah. Like you couldn't plan for this. Like like you couldn't plan for this. Like all of a sudden, like I remember someone gave me some like pinged me earlier in the day, and I was like to her, I think we need to do something about this. Like move our money or something. Within an hour, it was just like you couldn't log on, and then within a couple hours you could log on, and it said how much we had in the bank. I love it. Like it wasn't like a small amount. There was like 7 figures in the bank. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I took a screenshot. I'm just like, it says it's there. Yeah. But it's not there.
Allegedly, the numbers are on a screen.
But you couldn't plan for that. Like I remember, I was just like, what do you even do? Nobody could plan for that. It's like, like there's all these situations we're pretending to plan for. It's like, what do? We figured it out. Everyone figured it out, but we figured it out by like dealing with it in the moment. And it was like, it was payroll. We remember going to the team like, we have the money, but
we can't actually use it right now.
Use it, but we'll get you paid. And going to investors and saying like what do we, them willing to loan us money, and once the it's
can we do like a 2-week loan until our funds are available here?
Like there's so many of these stories. It's just like things happen that you didn't expect, and it's like, okay, well, what am I going to do? Am I really going to focus on all that, or am I going to focus on what I can focus on and what I can solve? So yeah, that we figured it out, but it was a scary week. I forget how many days it was, but just that classic example sticks with me as we're saying this, because you couldn't plan for it. They didn't teach it in a business book. It just happened, and we dealt with it. And it was scary.
Yeah, I don't remember reading about COVID when I was in college, and how we had maid service businesses. We cleaned the inside of people's homes. Trying to figure out how to navigate that through COVID was just bonkers.
Yeah.
Like keep people employed, and what do you do, and then there's all these government programs, and like what's legit, what's fake, who's trying to just steal your money. They didn't have a class on that. You just had to figure shit out.
No.
That's what we
So
did.
I try to instill this in the team every single day. It's like we can solve. I understand. Like I acknowledge it. I tell them I hear you, and I get it. It's scary, but I know we're all smart enough, and I know we'll figure it out when it happens. And I trust in the team. I trust in myself, and I focus on what that's the thing. As a business owner, as a founder, I think our job, like the good ones, our job is to have so much conviction in the business, we're able to make it happen, right? So it's like we guide that's kind of like the one rule I think for the business owners. Like we guide the business into the future. We pick the path that it's going to go. We think 10 steps ahead, and then we figure out the specific steps it will take to get to those 10 steps. Well, everyone's thinking about step one. We're like, we need to do this to get there, and it's hard for people to see. But you're saying there's some people that just it's not their forte, right? Like, but it's like being a business owner, it's being real with yourself, it's knowing what you're good at. I know it seems cool to be a business owner. I know it for me, it's the coolest thing, but I know like social media makes it seem so cool. I know it does, but like, it's not for everyone. You just need to be real with yourself before you get into business. Like, is this something you're going to commit to? The 4-hour work week isn't always real when you're starting a business. I won't. Maybe there are some businesses that it does, but like there's, these people are going to yell at you and tell you that you're stupid. Your ego is going to get hurt, right? Like sometimes you do suck, and sometimes you do make mistakes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it don't smell that great, right? Like like it's not easy, and it's the ones that can be real with themselves that keep going are the ones that I think really make it. But you have to be real with yourself.
And back to the things you're working on today of buying back your time.
Yeah.
Like the word buy signifies an investment. Like when I hear buy back your time, that doesn't mean it comes for free. That means it comes with intent and like building something that is scalable and not dependent on Cory and not dependent on Dan. Like if everything that the business has to do requires our time, our business and our people and our customers are kind of effed.
Yeah. Let me plug a question. Ask me what my crowning achievement is this year.
Hey, Cory, what's your crowning achievement this year?
It's not money, okay? Like it's not a revenue goal. It was back in January. I got this flu. I could barely pick my head. Like I couldn't pick up my head. I was stuck in bed. I hate taking days off work. It makes me feel horrible about myself. But
I was gonna say, you strike me as a dude where it's like if you get sick, you double down. You're like, oh, a cold? Oh, you think so? Well, I'm gonna work twice as hard today. I'm gonna go to the gym an hour earlier and just like go kick this cold's ass.
Yeah, let's go with that. It's like the classic saying, "The man cold." That's really me. It's like, oh, this is the worst cold possible. But like aside from that, it's just I physically could not move. I could not move. I could not get out of bed. It hurt me to look at a screen, and I was just so scared. I had meetings. I had all this stuff booked. My team took over. Right? I trusted them. I set them up. Like it just proved that all these systems, all these things that I preach, worked. Like even though I'm needed in the business, like I'm needed, I don't have to be there, right? Like I there are certain things I own, but like when push comes to shove, my team is ready to take it on because the business has to can't rely on me. So that just it was my crowning achievement this year. I'm going to look at it when I look at the end of this year. I'm going to say, this business, it still needs me. There's still stuff I need to own, but the team is ready to run it in case, something happens. I'm sick. I get hit by a bus. I'm out of commission. They'll be able to run it. It will be their business. It will continue to succeed. But yeah,
it's I love taking a week or two off, and sometimes like when I did the Boundary Waters trip, I was like out for a week. I mean, like not that nobody could reach me. And last week in the Philippines, like I was with half of our team, but our account managers like did their job and ran the business, right? And so there's I think when you're out, whether intentionally or unintentionally, it builds their confidence that they can run the show. We still require me to grow the business. Like, I'm really the only one doing the sales and marketing stuff, but operationally, Skip on our team is our GM. He runs the day to day. If I chime in, I'm probably screwing stuff up. Like, he's got it dialed in, and there's systems and processes he wants to build, and he wants to build, and he'll ask for my input. But it's fun watching what the team does when I'm not there and they don't need my permission for anything. Because sometimes when I'm there, they feel like they need my permission, and most of the time I'm like, I don't know. There's no right answer. Like, I don't have just this fucking magic 8-ball over here that has all the right answers. I'm also making stuff up as we go. I'm always making stuff up as we go. That's decision making. And the reason why you guys are in the positions you are in is because I trust you to do the same. You wouldn't be here if I didn't trust you to make that judgment call. You don't need my permission. I might ask you for an explanation if I disagree with it, but I want you to make decisions. I want you to screw up. I screw up all the freaking time. We have one thing we call oopsie report. And we had a fancy acronym for it. And I was like, no, that sounds way too corporate-y. We're not corporate-y. We have a damn beer mug in our logo. Like, there's nothing corporate here. We're very work hard, play hard. And I don't want to make it like serious. I want people to self-report. When you screw something up, that's awesome. Like, you win the day. You screwed something up, and we get to document it, and we get to say, like, here's the thing we got to button up and make sure we're on top of. That's not a bad thing. That's awesome. Screw some shit up. We don't learn if we're not making mistakes. And it's like, we're doing accounting. We can make a freaking journal entry and reverse anything. Make some mistakes. You can't just sit still. Push forward, make mistakes, log an oopsie report. Somebody should log it. So we, like, as a team, build our awareness of it. But, like, it's a badge of honor to log an oopsie report. It's not a negative. It's like, hey, yeah, I was working my ass off so hard. I slipped up on something. I missed this communication, or I miscategorized that thing because I was clicking so fast because I was trying to do a kick-ass job and I, like, maybe overdid it. That's awesome. If you're not making mistakes, you ain't working hard enough.
It's what makes you a great leader. Like, some of the things that we're discussing, right? Like, I'm always working to be a better leader, but I think, I get to work with a lot of businesses just like you, and I see the ones that where the founders are succeeding are the ones where they don't make it a scary place to come to work. Like, they promote. It's okay to make mistakes. I'm cool with it as long as we don't make them the same mistake twice, right? Like, I'm okay. Sometimes it happens twice, but it's like we don't continue to make the same mistake. We keep learning. I want people to also feel comfortable to learn on their own. I don't expect them to be experts all the time, but I need them to be not fear making a mistake, right? Like, you look at all the greatest founder, like the Dyson guy. He made like 1,000 mistakes before he invented the Dyson.
I mean, forever to get that baby going.
Yeah, what like Colonel Sanders? How many? Like, the ones that succeed. Like, I know we have again, social media doesn't go and talk about the mistakes people make, but you have to promote a culture of calculated mistakes, I'd say. You can't, your clients can't expect you to make mistakes, but like, I mean, like, as you're growing, it's like you want to promote a culture of growth, a culture of learning. Mistakes are going to happen when you're actually moving forward. You're going into uncharted territory.
You always should be. You should always be working on something you've never done before.
Yeah.
You're not pushing.
Yeah. You get it.
It's the Wild West. It's the Wild West, baby. Nobody knows. Just out working hard, having fun.
Yeah. The most fun, I say.
Internet's being weird over here. It's getting choppy over here. Cory, I got to wrap up here. It's like 11 o'clock for you, man. It's 11:10. What I've got two things for you to wrap up. Or I guess maybe number one, maybe number two will just be number B, just to throw people off. But first, how does, if somebody needs help finding a virtual assistant, how does somebody get a hold of you?
Yeah, so BlueMoso.com, BlueMoso.com. You can find me on any social media platform. So
I know the word blue, but what does Moso stand for?
Yeah, so Yeah. When we were thinking, like when I was first building the business, it was just, like what represents. I wanted to find a domain that .com, right? But in the past, caribou, we try to find animal symbols, plant symbols. So Moso is a type of bamboo. It's the fastest growing bamboo.
Oh,
And
I
so,
like it. I did not
yeah,
know.
the whole idea is like, calm. The blue is the calm we bring to business, the steadiness. Moso is the growth we bring to business. So Blue Moso is available. And I love the color blue, as you know from my last name.
Can't go wrong.
So
Can't go
Blue
wrong.
Moso. And then, the other business that focuses on more front end positions, it's CSM Moso. So CSMOSO.com. And we help with like client success positions, account management positions, community management, more front end roles. You can find me on Substack, Cory Blumenfeld, Instagram, Cory Blumenfeld, just Cory Blumenfeld, wherever you want to look.
Oh,
You can
Cory
find me there.
Blumenfeld. Yeah, you'll find
Yeah,
it.
and if you want to email me, hello@bluemoso.com, available there too.
Sweet, man. All right, I got one more question for you. The stumper,
Yeah.
the hard one. And I'm going to put some handcuffs on you for this one to make you really have to chew on it. Let's say tomorrow you wake up and the world that exists, like entrepreneurship, isn't even a thing. I don't know how that is. I don't know why that is. It just doesn't exist. You can't just go start a brand new business and the business you have is gone. You wake up, but you got to go find something to do to make a few bucks and something that you're going to love. It can be a hobby that you turn into a passion. It can be something you're passionate about, but you haven't tried a business in it yet. So again, it's hard to rule out entrepreneurship, but let's just say it can't be a business you've already run. Can't be medical or virtual assistant related. But you wake up tomorrow and that's the world. What the hell are you going to go do?
What am I gonna do? I mean, I used to joke around with this. I'd tell my family, if everything goes to shit, I'm gonna go live in, find a beach shack in Thailand, and live there, and start a hostel or something. I don't know. I don't even know. It just go. I didn't even matter. It's like if it all goes to shit, I'm just running away and going to Thailand and just living on the beach.
Figure it out.
What would I
Subsistence.
do? Like it's kind of like what got me into the position. I create as much content as I could and talk about my story, right? So I can't start a business. I don't know what it is, but I can create content and tell my story, right? And
you can
like
crowdsource that shit. You'd be like, hey, I'm creating some content. Y'all give me some ideas. What am I out there doing?
To be honest, like, and I didn't expect it, like from creating content on LinkedIn, but like I'm signing brand deals. So I know that they're like, I can substitute my income now through brand deals. So there's so many different ways to generate income just by creating content. So I'd probably get that beach shack and tell my story there. And just record it and talk about my life and enjoy life. It's not what I'd want to like. That's not my number one goal. I hope like doesn't go to shit, but doesn't sound like a shitty life anyways.
No, you figure it out. Just more problem solving. Just going figure it out from the right place to get some clarity, Got to get some clarity. I dig it.
Yeah.
Well, Cory, thanks for hanging out. We're like 2 hours and 10 minutes in. Surprise. Not every podcast does the 2-hour marathon, but I appreciate you hanging in there, sticking it out. Let me know when you need a nerdy bookkeeping, beer drinking, F-bombing, whatever I am on your podcast. Love to come on and shoot the shit with you.
Want to join? We'll talk about how be focused on you, how you take back your time. You get time to drink those beers, hang by the pool,
I'm
fishing.
I make I don't want to say it. I'm spoiled. I'm spoiled is what I am. But but I work my ass off for it,
Yeah.
It didn't come for free. It didn't come for free. Had to buy it back. And part of it's having an awesome team. I have the best team in the world. It's not best damn bookkeeping because we have a shitty team. It's best damn bookkeeping because we have an amazing fucking team. So I got a lot of stories about that. But anytime you want me on, I'll
send you the link after this.
Always game to jam, man. But thank you for coming on. H-Town says BlueMoso. Nice. Learned something tonight. Tapping out. Have a good night. Thanks for hanging out, H-Town. Cory,
H-Town.
thank you for hanging out. Business nerds, always so fortunate to have such a fun audience and appreciate the support from you guys. Give it a like, give it a subscribe. You guys know how to do all the social stuff. And until next time, you know what? Work smarter and harder. Go earn some pride. Good night, y'all. Good night, Cory. Thank you, man.
Fist bump. You know how I end it.
Fist bump. Now we're doing it. We knew it.